Hello and welcome back to the Bricks Hub. So today's video, I'm going to be building around this. So this is the Boba Fett Starship Microfighter. I've already given my 2 cents on the whole Slave 1 Starship debate. It's a kid's toy. I don't see the uproar that really is about it, but I don't want to go on for too long. Anyway, so this is a really quite interesting looking build, to be honest, and just from the box I do think it looks a bit more substantial than the Razor Crest Microfighter that I did a video on recently. So this leads to me wanting to get this mainly for the Boba Fett minifigure, but also because I want to make an alternate build for it, maybe even 2, I don't know, I'll have to see, but I just want to show it and then get on to the build. So here's the build set, and I just got to quickly preface this with that this is not the Boba Fett minifigure, well, not the exact Boba Fett minifigure you'll receive in this set. The figure you'll get in the set is just the general stuff you've been getting in the most recent re-armored Boba, except for the rangefinder. But I've put my own one on it. I've used a black one because I don't think LEGO's making them in black anymore, but I think the black just looks so much better than the dark grey that all the sets seems to be using. I've also made a little bit of a scarf piece for, his little black robe sort of thing. So yeah, this is just my little custom figure, but that's not really the main focus. The main focus is the really interesting build actually that we've got for this Microfighter. There's actually a lot of stuff that I really quite like about it. Obviously, the biggest elephant in the room is the very empty cockpit, but that seems to be a trend with a lot of Microfighters, and actually I'm kind of surprised that they included a cockpit in this, given the fact that so many Microfighters don't. So one thing I really quite like is you can just stand it up in both ways. You can stand it up like that, or you can have it in that way. I'm not going to put the minifigure in right now, but you can actually sit Boba in both positions. These, these little bits move, and the guns are stupid. I've always hated that trend, especially in 2012, that sort of era of LEGO Star Wars, where you use a flick-fire missile, but you fire the entire gun. It's stupid. This reminds me of old LEGO Star Wars, but maybe not in the best way. The back looks okay. I like the fact that they use the disc piece. The engines are terrible, but no matter all the sort of problems I keep pulling up here, it ultimately just brings back to this is a really solid sort of foundation for what could be an interesting mini version of just a small a condensed version of the Slave 1 for a mock or something. Say if you were making a larger diorama and you just needed a small thing, I think you could definitely start here. You'd have to do a bit more, but I like what it is here. But we're not really here for that right now. We're here for the pieces, and the pieces are some really good ones, and I've still not fully decided which direction I'm going to go with this set, but I think I'm going to try and make a speeder first. So, depending on what this video is titled as, we'll just have to see. So here's what I've come up with. This is actually kind of based on a Naboo flash speeder, very loosely. But it was just something I kind of wanted to have a go at, and I think the pieces and the weird shaping of the Slave 1 made it quite difficult. It's got a completely flat bottom here. So, you can move quite smoothly. It's got these 2 little bits on either side, these kind of pods with weapons on them. And I can imagine these would probably have quite a long range. And you could fire them from quite far away. They have they kind of naturally stop there. And then you can also aim them further down. But I can't really see that being as much of a focus. There's plenty of room for Boba, and you can include the rangefinder and any other accessories you have on him. I did have to remove his little leg cape thing just because that was not that wouldn't fit, but it's something that still kind of works. Another thing I quite liked is getting that kind of smooth sort of rounded sort of thing, sort of feel to the fronts and the sides. I really quite like that, and it just feels like the sort of thing you maybe see going around the streets of Mos Espa. Maybe this will be a little bit small, but kind of maybe a sort of gangster car sort of thing. He kind of rolls up, with the big guns, and he's like, all right, okay, I'm going to deal with this, and then gets out and shoots up the place or something. I don't know. It's it's got a bit of a Boba Fett sort of thing. It's generally pretty sturdy as well. Everything's quite strong. The only slight issue is this part here isn't really connected that well, but it's still held together fairly well, and it's not going to have any stress on it anyway. So honestly, this has been pretty tricky actually. I could have quite easily made a smaller speeder bike with like half of the pieces, but I wanted to try and use up as many pieces as possible in this. So it was a bit of a compromise, but I'm pretty happy actually overall with what I've got here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to have a tutorial, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. And just, yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any more ideas or things you like, things you'd change. And yeah,